What is up, YouTube? Campus Hero number 2 dropped. And let me tell you, if you watched yesterday's video, you heard me rant about wanting Mr. Percy Harvin as a route runner because, quite frankly, I need a route runner. And all of a sudden, last night, he got announced. Apparently, he got announced, and I got a bunch of messages. I was at practice, and I'm like, oh my God, we've got a Percy Harvin route runner. So I'm thinking, yes, we're going to go all in today. They're 85s and 94s. That's what can be pulled out of those packs. So I'm thinking, all right, Bo knows. First Bo knows drop was 85s and 94s, and it was 1,300. 1,300 training. And man, I get on this morning, and to my surprise, you guys can't see. I'll show you really fast here. You can see it was 27. It's 2,700. All I can tell you is thank God I worked out this morning. Otherwise, I'd be even more frustrated with the fact that they did this. I might have to work out after this again to show my frustration. But they did put in this also, 2,100. Now, if you buy training for 9, you know, that's roughly 189. Let's go ahead and do some math here before we get into it. We got enough training. I had bought 780,000 training yesterday. And the reason was because I thought it was going to be 1,300, which means I would be able to do 600 rolls. To my surprise, it's 2,700. So I had to go buy a few more training just so I can do 300 rolls. I want a good sample size to see what the numbers are. And honestly, as of right now, I believe you have to pull a 94, about 1 out of 8, 1 out of 9 packs in order to make your training back. I think it's got to be somewhere close to that. I could be wrong. You know, as far as value, I don't know. Let's go ahead and look at the cards. We know that the 194 costs 21,000 training to buy. If you buy training at 9, which right now is probably feasible, I think training will go up. But you know what? Honestly, I feel like I feel like they're gonna increase the pack odds. I just feel like they're gonna increase the pack. I hope they do. That's 189,000. Let's times that by 1.1 for the auction house cut. So let's look and see what the Campus Hero cards are costing to see if maybe that roll will be better. Maybe that roll will be better than this other one. And I do know I'm going to make Percy Harvin today. I'm going to keep Ahmad Rashad, and I'm going to also keep, what's his name? Sam Bradford. I'm going to try out Sam Bradford. But you can see right now already they're below 200K, which tells me that roll is probably not any good, right? But it's a guaranteed thing if you want. I'd be on the lookout for buying training at some point. Let me go ahead and bring up my little handy-dandy calculator as far as training goes. Right now, you know, 175 is 9.2, so 188 is obviously higher than that. But you definitely want to make sure you're watching this. Watch these closely, right? Watch these closely. These might be the best for training. And I'm not sure. You know, let's go ahead and check 96s, and let's see what those cards are costing right now. Because it does take 394s to make them. You do get them back as end cats. You can quick sell them. You get a fraction of their training back. You see Percy Harvin's 375, right? So if you were to get 3 of these guards, that's going to cost you, you know, 570. So probably not worth doing that. But you know what? We're going to roll. We're just going to roll and see what happens. I'm not looking forward to this. Honestly, guys, with 2,700, this is a terrible idea. I'll be honest. It's 100% a terrible idea. But we have to do it because we got to check and see. And I'm sure a lot of you guys want to know what can you pull. Can you pull 89s out of here? Can you not pull 89s? And I'll tell you what. I am going to have an investment video coming up here pretty soon because I think I've got kind of a handle on what's going to come up next. And I'm not, obviously, you can never be too sure. But I think, there we got Ahmad Green on the second roll. All right. All right, maybe these packs are going to be okay. Out of 300 packs, I kid you not, I'm hoping for about 30. Let me get out my numbers. I think 1 out of 9 should be okay. I know that's tough. I expect at least 30. I would 30's 10%. And honestly, I feel like 30 is probably right. I think 30 would be okay. If I got 30, I think I would be okay. I mean, honestly, I'd be happy with it just because, you know, the pack odds are going to be crazy, right? The pack odds are not going to be necessarily great at the start. But we don't know, right? We don't know what EA does. Sometimes the pack odds are absolutely incredible and they lower them. Sometimes it's the opposite. We don't know. That's the thing. We don't know what they're going to do. We're certainly going to look and see at the very end whether or not we should sell the 85s or if we should put them into sets and make the sets, get the power-ups, because that's the other thing you got to remember. Remember when Campus Heroes first one came out, how expensive those power-ups were. Would they make the same mistake? It's EA. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. We also remember that night they gave a training. Let's just check and see if they have one in here now. They don't. They had a training roll in there to get the power-ups for real cheap or something like that. I think it was something like that. So keep that in mind, what you're going to do. But we're going to go ahead and we are going to show you just the big pulls and hope and pray that we can pull some fire. And if we don't, you know what? We're going to go through the numbers at the end. We're going to tell you exactly what the odds are, at least for us at the present time. That doesn't mean they won't lower them. That doesn't mean they won't raise them. That it just gives you a rough estimate. So when you get home from work or you get home from school, you can make the proper choice for you on whether or not you think it's worth the risk or not worth the risk. So anyways, yep. We'll be right back when we are done. We have finished 810,000 training. Let's go ahead and take a peek and see how much it costs to do that. We're going to value the training at 9 just because I think it's fairly easy to get it for that. I did get it for less, but at 810,000 training times 9 coins per, that's 7,290,000 coins. That's how much we got invested into it. Here is the results, and then we're going to break it down and tell you the exact number, exact percentages. We pulled 300 packs. We got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 94s. 25. Now, I'm going to show you the what they're selling for. You can see. That is rough. That is rough, guys. They are basically going for, and we're going to go through the numbers here. I'm going to slowly walk you through this because I know some of you guys struggle with some of this stuff. But 175,000. We're going to times that by 0.9 because if we were to sell that, that's what we're going to get back. We're going to get back 157K. Now, I have everything written down on a calculator, but 157K at night divided by 19,000 for training is only 8.2. So we would be basically, if we quick sell this card, it'd be by buying training at 8.2. That's not good. That's not good. Because I believe training right now is higher than that. And so, I mean, guys, that's not good. That's not good at all. You can see now, I don't know if my gut says not to. My gut says not to sell these cards. You can see them all really low. They're all really low. And the reason why they're low, guys, is simply because of one roll. The reason they're low is because of this roll right here. This 21K training. Because people are rolling and think you're going to make profit. If you buy the training at 8, you still wouldn't. You still wouldn't. It costs you 168, and then you still got to times it by 1.1. It's baffling. It's baffling. Why'd they do this? Now, I will say this. Bow nose rolls are out. They are out of packs tomorrow morning. I would probably do that because those cards should shoot up in price. Hopefully. Maybe. But anyways, all right. It is what it is, right? You don't cry over spilt milk, right? Don't cry over spilt milk. So we got 200. Or we got 25. So let's take 25 divided by 300. That means the odds of pulling a 95 or a 94 are 8.3. Which means we got 275 other cards. We're going to divide that by 300. Which brings us to 91.6. So basically you have a 92% chance to pull an 85. And an 8% chance to pull a 94. Well, let's go ahead and take a peek and see, because you know we gotta manufacture how we're gonna get coin, because I don't know. I just don't know. So we gotta constantly look up things and do. So let's go to, we want to look up Campus Heroes 285. So you can see right now they're going for about 10K. All right. Okay, so they're going for 9. Let's say, I mean, it's gonna take a little bit of time. Flipping, by the way, might be the move, guys. Flipping might be the move for this. You can see right here. If you could buy them at 7,400 and flip them for 10K, it's about a 1,500 coin profit every single time. And you can see you actually have to break it down even more. You actually have to break it down even more. Let's go see if we can find them for even cheaper. You see what I'm getting at here? You could definitely buy them and flip them. But let's say 275. We're going to times that by, let's say 9,500. That's 2,612,000. Okay, you know we bought 25. We got 2594s. We're gonna times that by 180K because I think 180K about what you can sell them for. That's 4.5, right? So we're gonna plus that 2.612,500. So now we're looking at 7,112,000. Okay, now we're gonna times that by 0.9 for auction house. That's 6,401,000, which means we lost about 890,000 coins on that roll. That means you need to pull, literally, you're going to have to pull about 30. About 30, all right? So, but we don't want to worry about that. So let's say you buy, let's say we know that we can sell them for 9,500. We're going to times that by 30 now to make these sets. That's 285K. Okay, so I'll go through this really fast here just to make sure you guys understand. Campus Heroes, you got these sets right here. It takes 30 of these cards. Each one of these cards that go into the set costs about 9,500. Now, we all know that you can snipe them cheaper. I got that, guys. You can definitely snipe them cheaper. But we want to go ahead and look. By the way, this pack is always going to be profitable if you use 280s and an 83. You will always, if you quick sell the 85 for training, you will always make profit. Just so you're aware, I believe. Let me go do the math here fast. I know this is random. I know it's completely random. 280s are 110, so that's 220 plus an 83. So 220 plus 340. What is that? 560. Yeah, 560. An 85 sells for 710, so that's 150 training profit every single time you do that. Keep that in mind. Okay. But anyways, we'll go back to here. Let's go ahead and go and check some of these cards. Now, some of these cards, have power-ups already. Some of these cards actually have power-ups already. Like, let's check Ahmad Rashad, for example. We'll check Ahmad Rashad. Because I do know that he has a Team Diamond, that you can get his power-up through there. So let's check Ahmad Rashad. So I'm assuming that Ahmad Rashad will not be a very good card to do. But we'll check anyways. Yesterday, his power-up was like 12K. So let's check and see what it is. Now, let's bring up our handy-dandy calculator. You can see right here, his power-up now is 9K. Well, that's not good, right? So I'm not sure. That's probably not a set that we want to touch. So 9K plus 173. So that's 182K. That's not good. We don't want to touch that set. Let's check up Bradford. Because I don't think Bradford was in the game yet. So let's go ahead and check Bradford. Bradford power-up is going to be 46K. So you can already see the difference there. 46K. Now let's add in his 94. So as you can see already, it's 229. Well, that's probably not good, right? We don't want to do that set either. Now, if you were getting the cards for 6K or even 7K, say you got the cards for 7K, times that by 30, that's 210. Well, that's good. That would be profit, right? Not a lot, but it would be something. Just very little. Very little. If they were selling for 7K, we definitely would want to make the set. So let's go ahead and look at Jack Tatum. This is another guy that's already got a card, though. Is he gonna be worth it? My guess is the answer is gonna be no. But let's check anyways, just because. Oh, it looks like his power-up's not even up yet. I don't even see his power-up. Did anybody see his power-up? I don't see his power-up anywhere. All right, so that might be a card to get, right? Let's go ahead and let's refresh it and check and see if we see his power-up this time. So this is something that you need to do. 189 for his big card. There's no power-up. So clearly Raiders team people are probably wanting Jack Tatum right now. Let's check out McFarlane. Because I don't think he was in the game. But you definitely want to go ahead and check out all these guys, especially the guys that don't have cards yet. I don't think McFarlane had a card. You can see 6,300. You can see, if you snipe these cards, guys, you can definitely make a profit on some of these cards and flip them. Look at that, 150K for that card. Plus that's 336. Well, that's a card that we definitely want to do then, right? Because that's higher than 285. That's higher than 285. So we definitely want to do that card. And so you constantly want to go ahead and check all those cards. That's the best and most efficient way to do it. Is it the easiest way? Definitely not. But it's the most efficient way. And I would definitely recommend doing that just because if you have the time, don't shortchange yourself on coins. Don't shortchange yourself. Remember that you can do that. And so let's go ahead and check to see the 85s again. Because it's something you definitely want to do. It's something you're definitely going to want to do. Do I recommend doing Percy Harvin and Brian Arakpo? That's up to you. That's definitely up to you. You see 8K now, so that's good. They went up a little bit. Like I said, we were going to sell them at 9,500. It's selling them at 9,500 will take a good amount of time. It'll take about 45 minutes. It will. You can see the one just sold right there. It will take, and people, that's because they lazy filter it. They'll just click on the set and just go buy whatever pops up. Now, again, if you go and do this, you can find them for much, much cheaper. You could flip this card. You could flip it. So you can go ahead and buy this card for 6K, sell it for 9,500 45 minutes later, but in the meantime, you probably bought 20 of them. So if you buy, let's say you sell it for 10K, just for number purposes. I know that's not realistic, but that's like a 4K profit or a 3K profit. Well, do that 20 times every 40 minutes, that's 60,000 extra coins that you can get. If you do that a couple times, I mean, you can make some massive profit. On top of that, see, other people are going to do that, by the way. That's by far the easiest thing to do. But on top of that, you'll be able to make some of these sets for cheap. 6,000 times 30 is 180,000. Well, making Booger McFarlane, or Anthony McFarlane, whatever you want to call him, that, I mean, you saw it, 330K for both. Well, that right there is a massive profit, but you guys do what you want. That's my recommendation. You saw what I did. I'm going to go ahead and make some sets with my cards and try to get most of my coin back, but rolling it outright, I'm not sure was the best option, but that's all I got. So guys, that's it for me. We will definitely see you later.